Morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending on, where you are in this world. God bless you. This is Gloria White coming to you with dinner time. And today we're going to use some canned potatoes, and they're just little sliced round potatoes. And then I've got 4 fish fillets here, and they're a brand that I don't care for. They're kind of bland. So what I did was I spread a little butter underneath each one of the fish fillets. And then I put a little butter on the top of it. And I salt and peppered them. And I put some dill and some basil on top of them. That should make them really tasty. And I love these potatoes. And I buttered the parchment paper that I have them on here, parchment paper, on a cookie sheet. And so then I salt and peppered them, and I put dill on them. And if you've never had baked potatoes or potatoes, you can cut those little red potatoes up into quarters and roll them in butter and salt and pepper with dill, and then put them on a baking sheet and bake them till they're like golden brown. Oh my goodness, that is so delicious. So we're gonna, we have an oven heated up, preheating to 450, which is what it calls for these fish fillets, 20 minutes. And then flip them over and said do 4 more minutes. If you want them extra crispy to do 7 minutes. So I'm going to keep an eye on my potatoes because I don't want them to burn. And if I need to, I will flip them over. Now, I'll just use a little fork to do that. I'm also going to make some homemade tartar sauce, and I'm going to use fresh lemon. This is just a little lemon out of a bag of lemons I got that I intend to make lemonade with, homemade lemonade. And then Annie, she always eats dinner with me when I make food, and that's my little dog. But she loves green beans, but I'm going to make spinach tonight, and she hates it. But, hey, she already had her food, hamburger and butternut squash with instant potatoes. And I didn't put any green beans in it. I was just feeling a little lazy, and I'd been running around for my daughter all morning, so she didn't get green beans. Tomorrow, I'll give her green beans. Anyway, guys, I'll show you what this looks like when it comes out. Now, if you're going to have fish in my house, you're going to have tartar sauce with it. So we're going to make some tartar sauce. And I've got my little baby food processor here. And I'm going to be using mayonnaise, sweet pickles, because I can't find where I put my pickle relish that I just bought, and onion powder, black pepper, and as Mr. Tom would say, fancy pink Himalayan salt, and some minced garlic, and a fresh lemon. So we'll use part of this lemon in our tartar sauce, and we will use some on our fish when it comes out of the oven. Now we still have 10 minutes on the timer for the fish before we even flip it over, so we got plenty of time to do this. Now I'm going to take about 2 tablespoons, maybe a third of a cup of mayonnaise. But first I'm going to grind up my pickles. So I'm going to put about 10 of them in there because I like those sweet pickles. So when I say 10 pickles, they're sliced bread and butter pickles. So I'm like the mad scientist here, and I've got the fork, whatever would hold on the fork. And I'm just going to stick it down in the food processor. There we go. And then I'm going to just add the rest of everything else. And pretty much the salt and pepper is to your taste. If you like a lot of salt, put a lot of salt. If you don't like much salt, don't put much salt. If you don't want any salt, don't put any salt. But that's up to you. Now I'm just going to go ahead and put some black pepper in here. And I'm like Mr. Tom at Deep South Bama. I love my black pepper. And I hardly make anything without it. I can't think of anything besides dessert that I would make that I didn't put black pepper on. Hold on a second. Okay, so I put my pickles in there and I put some black pepper on there. And I had to get the lid off of the onion powder. And I'm going to put a little of that in there. I can't use raw onions. I'm very allergic to them. But I can use onion powder where it doesn't have any of the juice in it. Or if I have raw onions, if I cook them, I can eat them. Otherwise, I'm going to the emergency room. And nobody wants to go there these days. So then I'm going to put a little bit of these minced garlic in here. Not too much. You don't want it overpowering your tartar sauce. You want it to taste like tartar sauce and not garlic sauce. And this garlic is pretty potent. Then I'm going to have to set you down because my grinder requires both my hands. Be right back. Okay, so I added the sauce and I put in mayonnaise, and I decided, well, I should just make enough for the rest of the fillets that I have in there in the refrigerator, and I'll probably have them before next week, and then I won't have to make another batch of tartar sauce. So now I've got my lemon here, and I don't know if you kids know this or not. Probably some of the older cooks would know this, but if you roll your lemon with your hand like this, the palm, the heel of your hand, and you roll it pretty good all around, what that's doing is all the little pulp inside this lemon is getting broken open. So when I cut this lemon open, it's going to be just running with juice. And I can get it in my mixer here and bloop, 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 and it'll be tartar sauce. 1 second. Now, this lemon just wasn't that juicy. But, you see I put this little strainer here, this little wire strainer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to squeeze my lemon on that because I don't want my seeds in there. So I'll be right back. Ugh. Oh man, that lemon smells good. But you can see it caught all my seeds. So I don't have any in my tartar sauce. And my timer has got about 30 seconds to go. And I guess we should look in the oven. That lemon smells so good. Oh, look at that. Oh, those potatoes look so yummy. Ooh, okay, let me flip everything over and I'll be back. Now, I'm going to show you guys what I do with my spinach because I don't like all that water that's in it. So the first thing I do is I cut the lid, not where it's going to fall out, and then I set it on the counter like that. And after it sits there for a while like that, then I turn it like that, and it's been draining the whole time that the food has been in the oven. So I don't have to deal with all that juice running on my fish and my crispy potatoes. And that lemon smells amazing. Ooh, look at that. I got everything flipped over. And I'm just going to put it on for another 7 minutes because I want my fish crunchy. And my potatoes will be just perfect when that's done. And we're going to get back to that tartar sauce. Another thing I'm doing is I'm rendering beef fat back here. I've cooked about 10 pounds of hamburger yesterday. And this was the fat that I got off the top of the pot today. And I'm going to cook it till that can get skimmed off the top. And then I can strain it into a jar. And ooh, 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 that'll be yummy. Okay, here's my spinach. I don't think you can see down in that can. There's hardly. Look how it comes out. There's hardly any juice in it. just the way I like it. So, that's just a little tip there if you don't care for a lot of juice in your spinach. Just cut your can, so you cut about half of it and the lid, and then you move your can open and cut the other half. So when you turn it upside down, nothing's going to fall out on you. And then you just let it sit there while you're doing other things in the kitchen. And then you can put the fire on under your skillet. And it's not going to boil. It's more going to saute. And I will put a little butter in there, which will make, butter makes everything better. And there we go. Little pat of butter. The fish and potatoes say that they are done. Let me check them out. Look how pretty that came out. Oh my goodness. And the spinach is here in the skillet. And the tartar sauce is there in the mixer. I've got my lemon ready to squeeze on my fish. But I've got to get my hands free here so I can hold this strainer while I squeeze the juice on my fish, because I don't want the seeds all in there. Now this spinach is almost heated up. The only thing I did to it was I put a little butter in there, because I like spinach just to taste like spinach. Now I know there's other folks that would want to season this up. Maybe whip up a raw egg with some salt and pepper and pour over this, and then stir it in and it'll cook up. My mom used to make that. But I feel like I'm going to get plenty of protein from my fish tonight. Or you can put a little cream in there with some Parmesan cheese and a little bit of Italian seasoning, some basil, oregano, and then you'd have a really zesty kind of tasting spinach. But I'm just going plain Jane with my spinach tonight. So let me serve up my plate and do you a taste test. That looks delicious, doesn't it? And you see how a little bit of juice, just the tiniest bit of juice is coming out of this spinach. So you're not going to have soggy potatoes and soggy, crispy fish here. See? There's no juice running over to my fish. And that's why I do it like that. And then here's my tartar sauce. Came out so beautiful. So yummy. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's just right. Just perfect. And I put the lemon juice. I squeeze it on all the fish fillets. I know I made 4 fish fillets. But Annie will help me eat this. And then later I can sneak back in here and have a little snack when she's sleeping. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, guys. That is so delicious. Oh my goodness. Or else I've been starving for 3 months without any food. I have to have another piece of this fish. It is so good, and this tartar sauce is just the bomb. Nothing like homemade everything. Oh my goodness, that's so good. Look how nice and crispy. Listen. Ooh. And my spinach, no water running out of it in my other food. Let's check out these potatoes. They look yummy, huh? Yeah, could have got them a little more crispy. More like this one right here. Forgive me if I'm smacking. And of course, it's just canned spinach with butter. Mmm. It's been so long since I had spinach. That tastes so good. Mmm. My body is starving for this. Oh, my body is starving for the green food. Mmm. Guys, are we eating enough green food? I don't think so. Mmm. Well, I hope you guys, if you have any questions, you put them down there in the comments. And I will try my best to answer you. Mm. Oh, my goodness. Look at that. Oh. Oh, yeah. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Thank you for joining me. Mm. I can hardly talk because I'm munching that food. But let me show you these fish fillets. I got them over at Sam's Club. And that's what they are. Members Mark beer battered cod fillets. Wild caught. Premium hand cut. I will tell you, I did make these once before. And I didn't preheat my oven because I was in a hurry. And it was a very bad idea. So if you get these and you try them, make sure you preheat your oven before you start trying to cook them up. And as always, oh guys, I gotta go. I love you.